YouTube, what is going on? I'm Julian, back with another video, and today I want to talk to you about perspective, which goes hand in hand with manifestation. And so it's really the way that you are perceiving things. So if you are going through like some trialing time right now, or things are just not looking good, and you're trying to like kind of see the other side, right? You're trying to figure out like, how could I overcome whatever I'm going through, or how can I see the positive thing in this type of situation that is happening in this exact moment. We've all been there. We're human. We have our ups and downs, right? And success isn't just, a straight shot up. You're going to go up sometimes, you're going to come down, you're going to go up, you're going to come down, you're going to, it's never consistent, right? As far as like what is going on. In the long run, it's consistent, I guess you could call it. But, in the moment, it's never going to go exactly the way that you would want it to go. And for some reason, that's just kind of how life works, right? But it's all about perspective. You could be like, poor me, of course, and fall into that victim mentality, but you don't want to fall into that victim mentality, because that is not what's going to get you to where you want to be. You're not going to become successful that way if you are looking at your situation in a negative light. Just an example, there's plenty of times where I had been, broke, like no money in my bank account. How was I going to figure out how to pay rent? I lived by myself. I had to pay bills, my electricity, internet, phone, water, rent, credit cards, car, whatever, anything really. And it's been like that before, where I have my back against the wall, right? And as a self-employed individual, my income is determined by me and my actions, right? Of course, I can't control everything, right? If something happens and a deal falls through, that was really out of my control, like what can I do? You know what I mean? But it happens. It happens where things out of your control will steer you, and you have two different paths to take. You can sit there and feel sorry for yourself, or you can get the fuck up and fight back, right? It really depends on the way that you want to do that. And like I said, I've been broke where I didn't know what I was going to do and how I was going to pay my rent on the first. And the way that I handled it is I got up and I worked. And the way that I looked at it, it was like, okay, I got to this point at one point with the amount of work that I was doing. And to me, that was getting out of my comfort zone in the beginning, right? It's a new level. And the way that I see it is God wants me to step it up even more. Maybe this worked in the beginning. Maybe 100 calls in a week worked in the beginning. But now I need to step it up to 200, 300. Whatever situation you're in, it can be a positive thing sometimes to get your back against the wall. It's not always negative, because what happens is you're either going to fight or flight. And a lot of people in this world are flighters, and they're going flighters. I'm saying flight, not fight, right? Flighters. And so what I mean by that is a lot of people in this world will accept defeat. They will accept the victim mentality. They will say, maybe this isn't meant for me. But the fighters, this is like the 1%, maybe the 10% of the world, are the people who thrive on this amount of stress, who thrive on challenges. And this is when they become a different person. And so it's the way that you perceive things. You have to see whatever situation that you're going through as something that you can change for the better, or become a different person out of that situation. If you're going through heartbreak, then at this time, you don't want to beg, somebody. For me, I'm a man, so you don't want to beg a woman, right? You don't want to tell her like, please come back, like whatever the case may be is. You want to be able to look at the situation and be like, okay, what went wrong? Where did I go wrong? And of course it takes two, so it's not 100% your fault, right? But if you know that you made a mistake, then don't turn around and beg her to be with you. Be by yourself and change yourself. Become that man. Become the man that you want to be. And it's the same thing with everything else. And this house, $620,000 home, it's a model home. I get to sit in here, I'm doing an open house. Sometimes I don't want to be here, right? Like it's just, I've been here so long, probably like 2 years, but it's all perspective. I have to realize that every time I'm sitting in here, like as I'm recording this video, I'm being productive, right? It's what I do with my time. And at any moment, somebody can walk through those doors and they can buy this house. And that's like what, $18,000 check? Come on. It's like you can choose to be negative, and I can sit here and think I'm always here, nobody walks through the doors, whatever the case may be is, and there could be that 1% chance that somebody does walk through the door and I happen to sell this house just because I was sitting here today. And if not, nobody walks in, well, what am I doing with my time? Am I sitting scrolling through Instagram? Am I sitting scrolling through TikTok? Am I watching YouTube videos? Or am I sitting here being productive and utilizing my time on top of this other, opportunity? So, not only am I trying to create business through my phone calls and emails or whatever the case may be is, but I'm also sitting in here, whether somebody comes in or not. Even if somebody comes in, one person comes in for 8 hours, that one person that buys a house could definitely change my momentum. So once again, perspective is also manifestation. So if you are perceiving something to go well because you know what you were doing, even if it doesn't look like it's going well, even if it looks like everything is taking a left turn, it's what way can you grow from it? And what are you creating? What energy are you bringing to the table? Because that energy is going to come from the world, and it's going to basically, create your reality. It's going to create your outcome. But yeah, so perspective. So when you're going through challenging things, look at it through a different limelight. Don't just see it as it is what it is. You're going broke, or you're heartbroken and that person's not coming back, or maybe your car just totally broke down and you don't have the money to fix it, right? What is the part that you need to change or that you need to work on that is going to completely change that outcome? And how are you going to perceive it while you're in the process of it? Because how you perceive it is really going to determine, like I said, what your reality and outcome is. And if your reality is knowing that you're going to be successful, knowing that you are going to work through your struggles, knowing that it's time to step up your game even more, then that's exactly what you're going to get. If your perspective is, for me, I'm losing everything, I don't know how I'm going to overcome this situation, I'm going to sit here, cry about it, and not do a single thing about it, then your whole world is going to continue to crumble down. So change your perspective, keep going for more.
Okay, Kino, I see.
Dreaming, talking in your sleep. I know you want to cry all night.